Okay, we have another edit here, and this is in reference to fuzzy blankets. Feel free to pause the video if I start going too fast because I just want to pass all the stuff that you already know. So the first thing you do when you get to any edit is to do what you got to do in Lightroom first and then send it on over to Photoshop. And as you can see here, I fix the backdrop first once I get to Photoshop, and then I take away any skin blemishes, and if there's any distractions with lint or loose threads, whatever, I fix that. And then I go through and I do all the retouching, and you should definitely already have all the actions and presets to be able to do this. And so I'm just going to retouch his skin, and the first thing you always do is skin smoothing. So as you can see, I'm just going through and smoothing his skin out, being sure not to go over any creases, being sure not to go over any hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, the hair on his head. You never want to do that when doing smoothing because it'll make it look bad. So I'm not getting it in certain areas, as you can see here. All right. The next thing I want to do is go through with the lashes. You can always adjust the exposure, or the opacity, I should say. But I like the opacity for the lashes, so I'll leave it there. I did the rosy baby cheeks. I'm going to drop it down to 20% so it doesn't look as obvious. As far as the skin smoothing is concerned, there's no teeth whitening and base, so we're not going to worry about those two. But I dropped the skin smoothing down to 60%. And then I add the subtle edit color base. That's what you use for baby photos when they're alone. When they're doing the family photos, you'll use the dramatic edit color base. But for the solo photos, you want to use just the subtle edit color base. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go into camera raw setting to edit the fluffy blankets or cloth backdrop. You can hit that with the, first you have to duplicate it, but then you can do the shortcut keys, Control-Shift-A. So once you get here, you want to select here, and this is for masking. You want to select the masking tool, and then you want to select radial gradient. Those are the two things you want to click. And then once you do so, you want to create this big circle around your subject. I just made it more so oblong or oval shaped around him to make sure he is completely selected. After you do that, you want to click on invert. And you want to make sure your feather is at 80%. But then here's your radial gradient. You click that to invert it so that it'll affect the blanket but not the baby, as you can see here. So once you click that, it'll do it on the outside. The only two sections you want to worry about once you've done that is effects and detail. But once you get to the effects, you want to turn the texture all the way down. You want to take the clarity to 25%, and you want to take the sharpness all the way down and click OK. Once you do so, you'll see these two layers when you go back, and you can see the before and after of what it looks like of me softening the blanket. Okay, and you can always do whatever works best for you. And even here, we're going to go ahead and mask it off his skin and his clothing to make sure he doesn't look blurry like that, but just the blanket does. And if you feel like you went too strong, you can always adjust those values in the camera raw setting, or you can even adjust the gradient or the layer altogether here. Right now it's at 100%. I'm gonna leave it at 100% because I like it. And that's what you got there. After that, you want to add a frosted window, which is just a white vignette. That's the before and after of what it looked like if I add that. And I'm just going to mask it off of his skin and his clothes because I really just want it on the blanket and not on the baby. Very simple. Okay. And once you have that, you want to save it. And then here's your before and afters of what it looked like with the edit, and really paying attention to the blanket. As you can see, it's blurred out so that it's not so, in your face, and you can see all that texture. Same thing with the grays. You want to do the exact same thing here. And here's your before and after. I've already done it. So that's your before, there's your after, and I did do it on the blanket. Pay attention to the blanket and how blurry it looks so that it really focus on baby and not so much the blanket. Same edit steps. And I also add the frosted window, which is a white vignette, to this as well. And you can always just adjust the opacity if you feel like it's too strong. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Bye-bye.